morning to everyone. I am Aditya Pratap Singh. I am going to explain atom and the molecules. Atoms is the smallest particles of data elements which cannot be further divided and still retains all the characteristics properties of data elements. Atom maintains its identity in all physical or chemical chains. Atom and atomic theory of a matter. All substances which we find around us are composed of a different kind of a matter. If we go on a dividing, we shall get smaller and still particles of data elements. Ultimately, a stage is reached when the particles of a matter cannot be divided further. Earliest reference to concept that matter is composed discrete unit that cannot be further divided dates back to Maharshi Kanand, a ancient Indian philosopher, called these discrete smallest particles of a matter Parmanu. The Navya and Vaiseshika school of thoughts develop idea and how Parmanu combined into more complex objects. The reference of an atom to West emerged in a much later from Greek philosopher Leucippus of his student Democritus. The word atom for this discrete smallest particles comes from the Greek word of atom by Democritus. In 4050 BC, atom means unputable, although the Indian and Greek concept of atoms are abstract and are based poorly in philosophical ideas. The modern science has retained the named atom coined by Democritus. Law of conservation of a mass by Antoine Levesque in 1774. Whenever a physical or a chemical change takes place, the total mass of a reactant is equal to the total mass of a product. For example, calcium carbonate 100 gram gives at heat calcium oxide 56 gram plus carbon dioxide 44 gram. Law of a constant proportion. This law is also known as the law of a definite proportion by French chemist Joseph Proust. Every pure compound is always contain the same elements by combination of same proportion by a mass. For example, water whether from India, USA, Europe, either from well, spring, pond, etc., or droplets in a laboratory by the combination of a hydrogen and the oxygen are found to made up of two elements. Hydrogen and oxygen are always present in same ratio 1:8 by a mass. Dalton's atomic theory. John Dalton used two fundamental laws of a chemical combination, that is law of a conservation of a mass and law of a constant proportion. On the basis of their atomic theory, the following are postulated or assumptions of a Dalton atomic theory. First, all forms of a matter are made up of very small discrete smallest particles called atoms. Second, atom cannot be further divided and still smaller particles. Third, atom can neither created nor destroyed in a chemical process. Fourth, atoms of a particular elements are identical in all respects, such as they have same mass, size or chemical properties. Fifth, atoms of one element are different from those of any other elements. For example, atoms of different elements can be distinguished from each other by their different masses. Sixth, atoms of different elements may be combined in simple whole number ratio to form a compound atom, later called a molecules of a new substance. According to Dalton atomic theory, atoms is the smallest particles of data elements which cannot be further divided and still retains all the characteristics properties of data elements. Dalton atomic theory and law of conservation of a mass. According to Dalton atomic theory, every matter is composed of atoms Atoms can neither created nor destroyed in a chemical process. Therefore, the various types of atoms in a product of a chemical combination must be same as the number of types of atoms in a reactants. This law is thus the total mass of product of a chemical combination must be equal to the total mass of a reactant. This law is also known as the law of conservation of a mass, Dalton atomic theory, and law of a constant proportion. According to Dalton atomic theory, every elements are made up of atoms. Atoms of a different elements may combine with each other in a whole number to form a compound atom of a new substance, and the molecules of a particular substance have same mass and properties. Same mass and properties as there. The number of kind of atoms of each elements in the molecules are fixed. There will be a definite ratio in the masses of each elements of a constituent elements of a compound. This law is called a law of a constant proportion. Drawbacks of a Dalton atomic theory. Dalton atomic theory ruled the scientific world about a century, but it has many drawbacks. First, the assumption that atoms is indivisible is no longer true. Atoms can be decomposed into subatomic particles such as electrons, protons, or neutrons. Second, the atoms of the same elements may be identical in all respects. Identical in all respects. For the atomic masses have a different. For example, ordinary chlorine consists of two types of atom with relative atomic mass 35 and 37 respectively. Such atoms of the same elements having different masses called isotopes. Third, atoms of the different elements may be same in some respects, pg. The relative atomic mass of calcium and argon that is that 40. Such atoms of the different elements which have same atomic mass is called isobars. Fourth, atoms is no longer indestructible. Atoms and matter can be created into by energy. According to Einstein equation, we have E is equal to mc square. Fifth, Dalton atomic theory fails to explain how and why different elements combine with each other to form a molecules. Thank you.